Hello, everyone, and welcome to the course GC 101 Grade Control. You've all been invited, so keep checking your emails for an invitation from either Canvas or Instructure. Once you get that email, you open it up, and I think there's a button in there or a link in there that says Start Here or Let's Get Started. Just click on that, and it'll take you to the course. If you have any problems, uh, just give me reach out to me. We'll get into my contact information in just a bit. We're going to go through the syllabus once. What you're looking at now is the home page, and we're going to go through the syllabus, and then we'll touch on a few other odds and ends. But once again, welcome, and do not hesitate to reach out if you experience any problems. And so let's just start with the home page since we're on it here. Again, let me see if my little arrow will get over there. Yep, there it is. So this is grade control, GC 101, January 2026, and this is the winter term. As you can see, the home page, this is a typical Canvas home page, and over here on the left, you'll see home, announcements, module, grades, maybe the chat. I don't think you can see the chat, and some other links that some you can see and some are just for me. So looking at the picture here, you'll see a small dozer, and you'll see this mast sitting up on it, and that's a receiver for a laser, or which is 2D control. And then when you get into 3D control, you'll see a couple of masks up there. So we'll be talking about how to grade slope, set up the lasers, and things of that nature. Uh, First of all, let's start out with the syllabus. And I'm going to open it up, take us right to it. Hopefully, there it is. And let's get started. Uh, Instructor information. That's me, Scotty Gex. Um, Office is my home, actually. It's a virtual office. My primary email, well, that's not true. I prefer my secondary email, scotty.gex at heckova, HECOVFA.com. And my phone number is 405-684-6828. Don't hesitate to pick up the phone. The worst thing you can do is become stumped or not understand something, or a problem's giving, or an assignment's giving you trouble. Pick up that phone and give me a call. You can be looking at that assignment, and I can be looking at that assignment, and we can be on the phone and we can talk each other through it. I'm here to help. Now let's talk a little bit about course information. The course, in other words, the delivery of content, due dates, etc., is in Central Standard Time. I live in Oklahoma, so that's the time we're going to go by, my times. The dates of the course will begin January 5th, and it will go for 10 weeks, and the course will close on March the 16th. Well, I got written down 2025, but that's not true. That will be 2026, because we're about to get into that here in a day or two from me doing this video. Meeting day and time, it's not on campus. It's right here where we are now. When we meet, this is the way we meet. We won't see much of each other, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Canvas has a Zoom platform that we can use if we need to get face-to-face as individuals or as a group. Take a look at the objectives and the outcomes. By the end of the course, the student will be able to, 1, read, interpret, and establish road survey stakes. Number two, read, interpret, and establish slope states. Now, these are interconnected, as you will see as we move through the course. Demonstrate knowledge of preparing subgrade for aggregate. We will spend a little bit of time on, how to prepare subgrade before you're going to put some aggregate down on it. And it's not, but, and that would include compaction, the soil types, and things like that. And then we're going to be able to demonstrate the basics of automated grade control. Now, I'm not talking about going out there and doing it. I'm just talking about what are the components of it, what are the issues in setting up, what are the, how do you calibrate, and a lot of things that we're not going to get into detail on. But it's just the course is 10 weeks, and we'll be talking about automated grade control. And as you'll see in a little bit, we'll also be talking and comparing 2D machine control to 3D machine control. So let's kind of separate this a little bit while it's on my mind. When I say automated grade control, I'm mainly talking about what's known as an antenna and a rover, and a location where that once you're calibrated, you can set your antenna up, and then you calibrate it with the rover, and you can go anywhere on this proposed site and determine elevations. And you can go ahead and plot your slopes and look at drainage and things like that. Now, when we get into machine control, we'll be talking about the difference in 2D, which is primarily laser, and 3D, which integrates with global positioning systems, the satellites, and we'll talk a lot about that. And we'll get into comparing the cost of 3D versus the cost and efficiency of 2D and things like that. This program is an associate degree, and I'm here to talk about the things that you need to know about. Some of them you may need to do eventually, but you definitely need to know about it. One of my favorite sayings from an old boss of mine was, I'm not a very good operator, but I know what one looks like. And that's kind of what I want you to do when you hit the ground after you graduate, is to know what this stuff looks like, to be familiar with terms, so that, but your learning's is going to continue once you hit the ground. The deal is you may be in frontline supervision by that time. So all of this is going to be important. Now, the textbook I like, and it's been around for a while, this too, as you can see, the first one is called Automated Grade Control, and it comes from our curriculum. Heavy Equipment College of America has its own curriculum. However, for the AOS program, we will use this, it's a trainee guide, and it can be found once you get into week 6, module 6. Now, I don't know, there's 30 or 40 pages in there, but you're going to need to read that, because there'll be tests over that booklet. So it'll be when you get into, again, module 6 and week 6. The other book has been around for a long time. It's called Excavation and Grading Handbook. And this guy, Nick and John Capacci. Nick was the father, the son is John. I believe that's right. Now then, you should have a hard copy of that book. And again, you will download this automated grade control once you get into week 6, and you'll see the link for it. Now, this grading procedure, this is how I weight the different kinds of assignments. The tailgate, that's a discussion board, and I put a heavy emphasis on that. You can see I weigh that at 25% of your grade, whereby a quiz is 15%. Assignments, and when I say assignments, everything is an assignment. In this case, I'm talking about an essay kind of assignment, I'll weight that pretty heavy, because if you can explain something, you probably know it. Multiple choice is fine, but at some point you're going to have to explain what you know. Then we get into the midterm exam. We're halfway through. This will happen during week 5, and it is weighted 15%. The final exam is weighted 20%. Now, if you want to look at assignments, I have a note in here, as you can see, refer to the modules and the course calendar. The course calendar is on the home page, and we'll look at that. I want to move on a little quickly here so we can get through this. Technology requirement. This is what you need to participate in an online course such as ours. You need a PC, personal computer, or Mac, desktop or laptop with high-speed internet access. Your phone is not going to get it. You're going to need to have a PC or a desktop or a laptop. Phone won't work. So the other thing, Canvas, you need to, for using Kansas, accessing Canvas, you need your search engine needs to be Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Edge, or Safari. Chrome is recommended as it is required for Proctorio. Proctorio is a remote proctoring platform where that when you're taking a test, if we have Proctorio enabled, it will be able to sense your movements, looking away, opening a book, and some things like that. It's not going to shut you down, and it's not going to interfere with how well you do in this program. It's just to keep you focused on where you need to be focused. Note, you see the word note right here. I'm just going to highlight. If you are using a device with an AOS operating system, and I'm just saying an Apple unit such as a MacBook, you must convert your HEIC files to JPEG or PNG prior to submitting them. The one fault with the iOS system, the Apple system, is you can't submit photos unless you convert them from your iOS stuff, which is an HEIC file. And you know what? I don't know. I don't remember what that stands for. And there's an easy way to convert them to either JPEG or PNG. However, I'm not going to do it for you. For me to see them, you will have to convert them from HEIC to PNG before you submit them. You'll need Microsoft Word or an equivalent word processor system, Google Docs, and or Microsoft 365. Now, Microsoft will let you have a free version for students. I believe if you click this, that it'll take you to a place where you can request it and you can get it. If not, you can open up your own Office 365. Let's get into what you do if you get into trouble. Now, if you come into a technical issue, many times I can help. Many times I can't help from my end. But I'm going to tell you who can right now, and they are excellent. And that is Canvas Support and Course Technology. Now jump down here to how to contact them. Call Canvas Support Hotline at this number. I'm going to just kind of highlight it for you just for a second so you can see it. And I got the word preferred. Listen, I don't hesitate to go to those guys and gals over there at the Canvas, and they are tremendous, and they prefer to start with the student anyway, as opposed to me talking about what I think the student is having trouble with. Do not hesitate to call these guys. They will be with you quickly, and they will hang with you until they get it resolved. So that's the first step. Uh, but don't hesitate to call me. As we did, we go. Did we? Yeah, my it's my. Let's see. I want to go back and make sure you have. There's my phone number. I didn't. I want you to know that, and that's going to be here in the syllabus from now on. And also on the home page, there's a link to my contacts. So we got the Canvas support thing. Uh, Now here we go on, I'm just gonna leave this kind of highlighted, can I? Maybe not. No, I can't, it's not. But you can see it there. Please read and contact your instructor if you have questions. Now, here's my phone number once again, 405 684 6828. Now, some of you have been in our program before or earlier on, and we have changed formats. We were using what's called a competency base, where you could definitely work at your own pace and you could do any assignment in any week that you preferred. That turned out not to work so well for us. We did it in an attempt to give you guys more time to get your work done. This turned out not to be a good way to do it. We procrastinated and we ended up waiting to the last minute to try to do 10 weeks worth of work. And so we're not going to do that anymore. But let me go over it as you read with me. You can see where it starts up here, course format. Uh, this course follows a modular structure beginning with Module 1, which is the same as Week 1, and concluding with Module 10, which is the same as Week 10. Each module spans 1 week and includes an overview, some instructional resources such as reading materials and assignments, a weekly discussion board, discussion activity, and we refer to that as the tailgate. Like most of you are working construction or have worked in construction, and you know what the tailgate meetings are about. That's where you talk about what you're going to do that day. So we decided to name our discussions the tailgate. So that's when we're going to talk about what the subject matter or just what's going on in construction, from culture to the latest in uh, techniques and the way things are going today. So we will have one of those every week. So let's talk about weekly module deadlines. Each module's quizzes, homework, and written assignments are due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time of that module's week. In other words, you'll start with week 1, the introduction to the course, and in that we'll talk some more about the textbooks. You will spend that week acquiring your textbook uh, and any e-books that you might need, and and that's what will happen in that week. There's a video in there that talks about Canvas. You can read it if you're not I mean, you can watch that if you're not familiar with Canvas. And there's also, I think, a video in there about what Canvas calls the big blue button, which is actually their version of Zoom, which we may or may not use. Now, going down to number 2, tailgate discussions. must be completed within their assigned week as follows. In other words, you'll have a tailgate in week 1, and it must be completed during that week and submitted prior to 11:59 on Sunday of that week. The tailgate will include an initial post, and this initial post must be posted no later than Tuesday at 11:59. And it'll have a second post. The first reply to another student will be no later than Thursday at 11:59. Now, this reply may be something to the effect that I want you to talk to your cohort, another student that has posted, and that maybe ask them a question or give them a suggestion. And then the third post will be your second reply to another student, and it's due at midnight. Late tailgate posts will earn 0 credit because the whole point is real-time weekly discussions. And I'm not going to watch these too closely, but there's a reason for saying your initial post is due this time. Your first reply is due at that time. And that's so we won't be talking at the same time. As you can see, they're kind of scattered out there for us. Now, I want to talk this late work policy a little bit because I don't think I'm not quite sold on what my colleagues are sold on. This is brand new. Uh, Generous late policy that will preserve pacing and fairness. It's a great grace period up to 48 hours late with no penalty. In other words, you can go to Tuesday at midnight, turn it in, and after the module ends. In other words, when you have a week to complete it, right, from Monday through Sunday, it'll have a due date. Every one of them will have a due date on there. And that's your goal. If you run into trouble and you need to go another day or two, that's fine, but after that, we need to pull in the reins a little bit and not let you get strung out. I don't want the late window to be okay 7 days after the module due date. If the module's due date on like all of them are on a Sunday, uh, and you going on and it becomes Thursday of the next week, you're getting too far behind. Let's talk. That phone is usually in your pocket at arm's length. Do not hesitate to pull it out. Now I know you guys are working, and you guys and gals are working, so I don't want you to spend all the time on the job site talking to me. So if you run into trouble and you're out there on the job trying to do an assignment at noon, give me a call. If you're at home and you get stuck on an assignment, and if it's before 10 o'clock, I'm kind of like to get in bed by then. Never mind, give me a call. If we have time, we can talk about it. So the grace period, just hold that up in the air. We're having a meeting today about it. And today being like I don't know, the third or no, I think it's New Year's Day, maybe. Anyway, uh, late window, 7 days. I'm just not sure I can live with that. I'm afraid we'll get too far behind. But I'll update you on that. Uh, Now, attendance, the way we do attendance is based on it's weekly based. In other words, during a given week, you need to participate in a learning activity, preferably the discussion or what we call the tailgate. Now, you only need to participate in one of those activities, quiz, assignment, discussion, in a week to be considered in attendance. If you don't participate in any learning activity, and logging in is not a learning activity, if you don't participate in it, you will be considered absent. This stuff is mostly found in your catalog. Heavy Equipment College catalog, specifically these pages within your catalog are the catalog. So when we get back to the home page, you'll see there is a link to the catalog. And speaking of that, we got things to do. Let me move on. Be sure and read about this, how to be civil when communicating, uh, acceptable behavior catalog again. So I want you to leave with knowing what your book is. I want you to leave with knowing how to contact me, and most importantly, I want you to contact me when you need any kind of help. All right. So I'm going to get back to the home page again. This takes you to your course calendar, and I'll just take a peek at it. It's just a summary of from week 1 all the way through to week 10. And it's basically the same thing. You see, you're going to get a reading assignment, and I might give you what the assignment is, or you're going to get a problem assignment, and you might get it. But just realize that these dates should correspond with where we are in real world. So let's see if we can get back from here, back to the home page. We did it. All right. Now, I want you to, these are all your modules, and up here to my left in this left link bar over here, you can see some of these things like how to set up your Proctorio, and you probably have access to the chat. I don't know if we have that enabled or not. You have access to your grades, and you have access to the modules. Okay, this is a must read for you. You go to the tailgate and go to the tailgate grading guide. Uh, this is a grading rubric for written assignments. Now, instructors have a little bit different way of looking at this. Everything I do is based on 100%. So if you have what 5 questions, each question is worth what 20 points. That's the way I look at things. Uh, this right here again is how you can get in touch with me at where it says contact your instructor. We do have a catalog. We do have a policy that if you don't like what I'm doing or you think you're being uh, not given a fair chance in any case or a grade or something, don't hesitate to call me. I think you and I can get through it. If we can't, you can go here and read through this grievance policy, and it'll give you who to call and to work through these things. It's okay if we don't always uh, see eye to eye, but I can promise you that I'm pretty open-minded, and I think we can solve most of any uh, disagreements maybe we have. All right, main thing again back is I'm really glad you chose our school, and I'm here to work for you. That's what I do here. I'm kind of in charge, but I'm here for you. So don't hesitate to call on me. Now I want to look at a module right quick. So let's go so we can, let's go here. This is week 1 of the course. You're going to have this is in some modules and not in some. It really takes up a lot of room, and there's a ton of stuff in here. Uh, I usually don't have this in my book, but I do have my name here, and it's okay to think about time management, because that's going to be your biggest obstacle is how well you manage your time. Uh, and there's some hints telling you when due dates are and things like that. It'll come in handy, but it's there's not going to be a test over this. So I'm going to jump back to week 1 objectives. We can look at that so you'll know. Here it is. In this module, you'll complete the following. There'll be a syllabus quiz that has probably 5 questions about the syllabus. We'll have a discussion, and also the pre-course test is in there, and it's not to be confused with the syllabus quiz. So the pre-course test is questions about what you are about to learn or be exposed to see what you know coming into the course. And there will be a post-course test at during the 10th week that you will take to see what you have learned. And it's not going to be graded. If you complete it, you're going to get 100% just for completion. We just want to know how well we did as instructors and are we teaching the right thing. So please get this done right away during your first week. Uh, as other things will begin to increase, and maybe we'll call it in tendency. Here's the introduction to Canvas if you're not familiar with it. Here's how to use the Canvas version of Zoom. And here is, I didn't know you could get it, but you can go ahead and download your book. Just click on this link and your student textbook for the course will be here. And that's the automated grade control uh, text student guide. So you won't be talking about this stuff until week 6, I believe it is. And but you can go ahead and download it and have access to it. And the tailgate meeting, leadership skills, why competent workers become incompetent managers. Uh, this will be about, I like this. It talks about how we promote people to their highest level of incompetence. That's called the Peter Principle. We just think because that you're a good grader operator that you're going to make a good foreman, but that's not necessarily the case. Really interesting subject to talk about. And here's your pre-course test, and here's your week 1 quiz, which is the syllabus. These two are different. This is multiple choice, and this is multiple choice. This will be about the syllabus. This is about what you know coming in. First thing we're going to tackle is road survey stakes, and that's how you build a road. You got a center line, you got a shoulder, you got a ditch on each side, and we're going to learn how to interpret the stakes and how to mark the stakes to build that road, considering the hinge point, the shoulder, the ditch, and the center line. All right. Weekly over week, we're in week 2 now. I'm not going through all these objectives. We'll be working more. There's a video I have I like that's on survey stakes. I think I present it. Uh, I can put you to sleep. I'll try not to do that, but I advise you to take a good look at this right here, talking about this. And then this survey stake reading assignments. What in the world am I doing there? Let me take a look at that and then we'll go back. Oh, yeah. You get in your textbook and read this. This is really good stuff, and it'll really help you as we progress forward. When I have a reading assignment put up there, many reading assignments, if any, are graded or not graded. So it's just to help you with the things that are graded. Now, tailgate, soft skills in construction management, that's going to be some skills, leadership skills. Uh, this right here gets where you need to start paying attention. This is a video about this assignment. You need this before you're going to be close to do this assignment right here. Saying that. Uh, and again, if you get into trouble, just give me a holler. We're not in the same room. You're going to have to pick up the phone. Email if that's your preference, that's fine, but we can solve it pretty quick. Just give me a call. And then we have a little quiz on survey staking. Then we move into slope staking, and the same things are going to happen. Here's your preventing conflict. That's a pretty interesting topic to discuss, so we may have some fun with that. Then we get into something that's really important, calculating slope ratio and percent grade. Slope is like a 2 to 1. Percent grade is like a gravity flow sewer line at 1% fall. That's what that's going to be talking about. And of course, we have a quiz over that. Uh, so this, all the information relating to this is going to be in your textbook, excavation and grading handbook. Uh, this is good read right here, subgrade preparation process. We may have some questions over that actually, and then again we'll get into a week 4 uh, tailgate meeting, organization, confidence, and we're going to talk about those 3 traits. Here's again a reading assignment. You'll definitely need to read it. And this is a video, and it's quick and it's simple and it's short, but it'll give you an idea of what you're going to be looking at. I don't know how many of you know much about site preparation as far as the contours, how much dirt you're going to have, or how much dirt you're going to move, how much bar you're going to have to bring in. But that's what we're going to begin talking about. And here's the assignment over this video, I think. So read about this, watch this video, and call me if you have problems on this. Same here. That's just a quiz. It'll probably be 10 questions, multiple choice. Then we get into the midterm, and you know what? I think you're good to go. I just want you to go back and look at your syllabus and understand your format. And I really can't emphasize enough of how important it is to help yourself. In other words, to self advocacy is what it's called, to be able to ask for help. And that's a real important deal. Need you to do that. And again, welcome. Go through your emails every day. Make sure you don't miss an invitation. Need to get you in the course, and that's what those invitations will do for you. So let's have a good 10 weeks. And again, I'm here for you. Thank you.